sports.
We are Baltimore. We are St. Louis.
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball, and tonight from Busch Stadium in St. Louis, the Redbirds looking for a sweep, game number 3 between Cincinnati and St. Louis. The pitching has been outstanding so far for the Cardinals. Game 1 Monday night, 7 strong innings from Jaime Garcia. Then in game number 2 last night, John Lackey, 7 innings, gave up just 1 run. The pitching has been so good this year, in particular the starters. Here's a look at it for the starting staff, the numbers and how they match up with other Cardinal teams since 1900. It has been an incredible run for St. Louis. With Jim Hayes and Al Raboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin, and welcome to St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Tonight, game number 3, a chance at a sweep, and the Cardinals turn to Lance Lynn.
Yeah, Lance really needs to step up. He's had a tough month of September. He also has not won here at Busch Stadium since late July. That opponent was the Cincinnati Reds. We hope that'll hold true, but he really does need to start pitching better so he'll have a spot on the postseason roster in the rotation.
Brandon Finnegan will get the call tonight, the former Royal, now pitching for the Reds. And for the Cardinals, it's Lance Lynn. Just about set to go for baseball. Johnny Cueto. In Major League Baseball, Johnny Cueto going to Kansas City for 3 youngsters of the Royals. John Lamb, we saw him pitch in Game 1. It's also Cody Reed. He's not in the big leagues. And then tonight's starter for Cincinnati, Brandon Finnegan, 1 start, a record of 1-0. Meanwhile, the Cardinals will turn to Lance Lynn tonight, trying to bounce back after a tough outing at Wrigley Field on Friday afternoon. It's a beautiful night here in St. Louis, and the Cardinals are looking for a sweep. Baseball comes your way next. Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. Make a plan to make it home. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And visit your local Mid-America Chevy dealers for great prices on our all-new 2015 vehicles today. Lawrence Peter Berra, better known as Yogi, the pride of Elizabeth Avenue, passed away last night in New Jersey at the age of 90. Hall of Baseball mourning his death, and really a celebration of what was truly a great life spent in and out of the game of Major League Baseball. Jim Hayes, Al Raboski, Dan McLaughlin with you. 82 degrees, our game time temperature, and good buddy Skip Schumacher leads it off for the Cincinnati Reds, followed by Frazier, then Votto, Phillips, Bruce, Suarez, Bosch, Barnhart, and Finnegan. So 6 lefties in this lineup, and they will face Lance Lynn, coming off a tough start at Wrigley on Friday afternoon.
Well, Lance, one game over 500 in ERA, respectable at 328, but he's lost 4 straight starts here at home. And this is where he normally dominates like all the others. 61 home starts. Lance is 32-16. The Cardinals are 41-20. And he owns an ERA under 3, but he's lost his last 4 starts at Busch.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. The Cardinals have talked about the key for Lynn, being more efficient from at bat to at bat. Try not to go as deep into counts as the walks have piled up here in the second half for Lance. And they've also mentioned mechanics with him, and we're seeing, I think, a controlled delivery to the plate in these first 3 pitches to Skip Schumacher, driving towards the plate and not falling off, which is something that they have mentioned.
Yeah, when you watch him really kind of stride towards home plate, you don't worry about it. When you see him drastically fall towards first base, he's out of whack.
And a ground ball that's hit to short. There's Johnny Peralta. This is a unique looking defense for the Cardinals here tonight in game number 3. We'll take a look at that momentarily, but first it's the Hyundai pitch arsenal for Lance Lynn. Nothing fancy about big old Lance.
No, it's basically 90% fastballs, but he'll sink it, he'll ride it, he'll cut it, and try to turn it into different pitches. And he'll even take a little speed off and add some to that, but it's basically you got to go up there looking fastball.
Here is Todd Frazier, who's hitting .261, but 35 home runs he's driven in 88. So some of the big names are in the lineup tonight, and as I mentioned earlier, you're talking about a lot of lefties, and the reason why, since the All-Star break, left-handed batters hitting .353. That's a line out to Peralta, but .353 left-handed batters since the All-Star break against Lance Lynn. The on-base percentage is close to .500 by those lefties.
Brian Price talking about with some of the injuries they have, he says, I've got a 5-man bench and a 22-man bullpen.
Holiday, Pham, Grichuk in the outfield. Reynolds, Peralta, Carpenter, and Piscotty on the infield. Tony Cruz is behind the plate. And here is Joey Votto, which could be the biggest test of the night here for Lance Lynn. One of the top hitters in all of Major League Baseball. You think about this defense tonight. In left field, a guy that's not running at 100%. In right field, a guy that can't throw at 100%. A third baseman playing second, a third baseman playing first, and a backup catcher is behind the plate.
Go get him. Yeah, it's kind of like I kind of describe it. It's we're looking offense versus defense, and the Cardinals are hoping to get a lead, having these 2 big bats in the lineup, and then later on they'll worry about protecting the lead.
Get the feeling that minus Hayward, these are the guys that you'll see in game 1 of the division series if the Cardinals get there.
Very possibly.
I mean, Tommy Pham, the way that he's been playing, can't keep him out of the lineup. Molina, you hope to get back. There's Grichuk, who's in right field tonight.
And, you know, if you particularly if you have a right-hander on the mound, you'll see Wong back in there. Hayward will be there. He's just getting a day off with a lefty up there.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Joey Votto. That's hit out of play.
And the Cardinal lineup today, not 1 hit against Finnegan. Of course, the Cardinals as a team have 1 hit against him, and that was Brandon Moss, a 3-run home run. He's only pitched a few innings against them, but you know how the Cardinals have had trouble with lefties.
Big gap in right center and a 2-2. Called third strike. Late with the call, and Pato didn't like it. The first strikeout for Lance Lynn tonight. Cardinals coming up in the home half of the first. As Matt Carpenter will lead it off for the Redbirds, followed by Tommy Pham, and then Matt Holliday. Good to see him in that starting lineup for the Cardinals. Johnny Peralta will bat cleanup. Then Stephen Piscotty, Rando Grichuk, Mark Reynolds, Tony Cruz, and the pitcher batting ninth, that's Lance Lynn. On the bench for the Cardinals, some pop, especially from the left side of the bench when you think about Wong and Moss and Adams and Hayward. A lot of options, late innings for Mike Matheny. Brandon Finnegan, the young left-hander, will get the call tonight for the Cincinnati Reds.
He made a start and won that ball game. He became the 9th Reds rookie to start a game this year. And of course, he's the 53rd straight rookie start by the Reds. That's an all-time record.
Some of the warm-up tosses. Let's get on the same page, huh?
Neither one of them could catch.
So here is Carpenter, who's hitting .266, leads the club in home runs and RBIs. First pitch to him is a ball. Carpenter, 3 for 7 in this series, picked up his 40th double of the year last night. And it's not just the home runs and RBIs, but also leads in walks, runs, and on-base percentage for St. Louis. Pops it up to the left side, and that will find the seats out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Finnegan pitched in the College World Series a year ago, and then later he found himself in the Fall Classic pitching for the Kansas City Royals.
That's first in history to have a player College World Series, then in the Major League World Series. Looks like it's straight in the middle of the rubber. 2 TCU guys going at each other right here.
Texas Christian University. Another one that comes to mind is Jake Arrieta, and what a season he has had from TCU. Last 10 games, 3 home runs for Carpenter.
Carpenter's had a little trouble against those guys that went to TCU.
Here's a 1-2. Late with the swing and a strikeout. So what does Brandon Finnegan feature? Let's take a look at the Hyundai pitch arsenal.
Well, you see the sinker and the slider. Basically a 2-pitch pitcher. He'll throw the 4-seamer. That's a riding fastball. The changeup, 0.5%. Not many curveballs, but whether he calls that, this is his slider there, but you can see it's real slurvy.
Here's Tommy Pham, and he takes a ball. 2 RBIs last night. And it was he along with Piscotty that delivered for the Cardinals late in game 1. Where would the Cardinals be without Pham and Piscotty this year? Little chopper towards third. Frazier gets it on the short hop. 2 away. A look at the Reds defensively. Schumacher is in left field. Brennan Bosch in center. Jay Bruce, great arm, he's in right. Then Frazier, Suarez, Phillips, and Votto on the infield. Barnhart behind the plate. And a big ovation. The return to the starting lineup for Matt Holliday.
Everybody knows what this could possibly mean. A real boost to the Cardinal offense. 2 different stints with the quad injury. Missed 31 games the first time. Then came back for about 11. Re-injured the quad and missed another 40 plus.
So 2 outs and nobody on. Holliday out to deep center field. There's Bosch, and he makes the catch. So the Cardinals go in order. No score after 1 here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Simulated game for Adam Wainwright. Just great to see him even back on the mound at this point in the season. No one anticipated even being in this position. And Wainwright looked pretty good. The Cardinals are thrilled with what they saw this afternoon.
If he comes out tomorrow and says he feels good, there you see John Jay giving him a little report what it looked like there. But big smile there. That's a real plus to this ball club. And got to give Adam Olson, Cardinals medical and training staff, an awful lot of credit, but most of that goes to Adam Wainwright, who had the mindset that he wanted to push it and wanted to try and get back. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see him sometime over the weekend and coming out of relief.
Here is Brandon Phillips. Jim will have more on that coming up in the bottom half of this inning. Phillips is hitting .296. He's 4 for 8 with a ribby and a double in this series. So this was a simulated game for Adam Wainwright, and it wasn't just John Jay, but Matt Adams was a part of that. We're going to show you what he did against Wainwright in just a moment.
Yeah, and I could make a strong case that, you know, remember we had Belisle throwing simulated games before he was activated, but you could have some of these pitchers because we have so many guys that are coming back off of injury. It would do them more good to do that on a daily basis, to have faced some hitters in simulated games than just the one pinch hit, you know, appearance that you hope you get that night.
1-2 the count. You could do that knowing that Wainwright would not pitch tonight, as Phillips strikes out. So what did Big City do against Adam Wainwright today? Uh-oh. Yep, that was launched.
I've got the football out there. Look, he wants to fight him. But see, that's better for Matt Adams to face that type of pitching too, to get himself back.
I think the risk you run, or the problem that you have, and Jay Bruce is at the plate, is that if you wanted to do it with some of those guys, then that night they're off limits, right?
No, not necessarily, because you're just hoping. You're talking about some of the hitters,
pitchers.
Oh well, pitchers. You got 12, 13 guys down there. If you can't cover a 9-inning game, you're only going to use 4. Your 4 guys, so you got a whole bunch of arms that you could waste for 2 days by having one guy every couple days throw a simulated game.
Popped up a mile high into left. There's Holiday, and he makes the catch. And look fairly comfortable running to that ball as we take a look at Al Hrabosky's Toyota keys to the game.
Well, one of them I said is the offense versus defense. You put in Grichuk and you put in Holiday down there trying to generate a little more offense, but you're going to suffer defensively. So hopefully get a lead, then you can replace him. And Lance Lynn needs to get back on track. Like we said, he's lost 4 straight games here. He normally dominates here, and he just needs to get back in pitching, and so far, very good.
His delivery towards the plate, to me, looks a lot more controlled here tonight.
It is. And you can see it's a little slower pace, so he's not getting out of whack.
And it's not the pace, to make sure that we understand, and I think I know what you're talking about, between pitches. It's the pace at which he starts with the leg kick to the plate. Yeah,
the motion, and not rushing at all, and staying back and staying under control. When he spins off and kind of cuts off his delivery and finishes falling towards first base is when his pitches will elevate. He won't have any sink to it. The ball he'll get underneath it, becomes like a frisbee, and when he goes straight towards home plate, or like he's pitching right now, then he has late movement and command.
Getting well wishes to Shirley Lawless, longtime fan and season ticket holder, wearing her Cardinal red tonight. Hope you're doing well, Shirley. That's Shirley Lawless. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You can see that, the way he's throwing this ball, but even now that's right down the middle. He's throwing it by a hitter.
The 2-2.
Remember when you said Votto could be one of the big tests? Votto's hit .450 against Lance Lynn, but the guy he has to worry about is Bruce.
Yes.
Bruce .452 with a double, 2 triples, 3 home runs, and 11 RBIs.
The 2-2. Got him. It's a strikeout. 2 in the inning. 3 tonight. Already through 2 innings for Lance Lynn. His second strikeout of the inning. 3rd tonight. Little rise, little run. No score midway through 2.
Dan, Adam Wainwright did answer a few questions after throwing to hitters today. He told me he, quote, has to hone in on a few things, but overall he was pretty excited about his throwing about 25 pitches or so in that simulated game. He says his stuff is game ready in some ways. He says good life on the ball. He says he just has to make a couple of minor adjustments. He told me, quote, when I'm facing the bullpen coach standing in without a bat, I'm spotting everything pretty nicely. He added facing real hitters for the first time in a while is something totally different. He said he has some things to work on, and Dandy said he's looking forward to throwing another simulated game in the coming days. But he's been throwing for weeks now, and he says his arm is the last thing he's worried about.
Yeah, so arm strength as Peralta grounds out. Jim, that's something he's not really worried about, which I know is a question for a lot of fans.
His arm is fine. What they were worried about is sudden movements that he would have to do when he's playing defense. Today he worked in front of a screen as just a precaution, but he says he's been doing some of the movements just fine. It was a precaution today, and he's really looking forward to moving this thing forward. Who would have thought he'd be at this point now, Dan?
It's great. Here is Stephen Piscotty. Thank you, Jim. Game-winning RBI on Monday night. He's had some big ones here in the second half.
And you think we ought to just tell the Cardinal offense that it's the 7th or 8th inning and pick up the game from there?
With the way things have gone, yes. Piscotty told me something very interesting before tonight's game. I said, here it is late in the season where young players aren't used to this, playing in September. I said, how do you feel? And he's such a thinker with his answers, and well thought out as Piscotty strikes out. And he said, I hearken back to a meeting that we held, closed door, players only, and Adam Wainwright said, you're not tired. Your body might say you are, but you're not tired. And that's the mindset that you have to have. And he said, I've just, for whatever reason, I remember that. It sticks out to me, and I'm trying to keep that mindset here down the stretch.
I found at times that after the season, I was more mentally tired than physically. And that's the grind of playing every day. Sometimes, whether you get to postseason or don't. But it's, you look back on it and it's absolutely frustrating when you can be so close and then don't get there, and you look back and you say, what more could I have done? How could I have changed and put us into postseason?
Here is Randall Grichuk. Grichuk with a high fly ball. Deep left center. It will carry out of here. Number 17 for Grichuk.
Offense versus defense. Bring those big power bats in there, get a lead, and then you can play defense late in the game.
"17 home runs, 47 RBIs for Randall Grichuk."
With the injuries Grichuk's had, he's played about half as many games and definitely at bats than some of the other top rookies in contention for that Rookie of the Year.
It's just too bad that he got hurt when he did, because it was just starting to happen. The national attention on MLB Network and Fox Sports 1 and ESPN on their baseball show saying, watch out for this Randall Grichuk kid. He's pretty good. People started to take notice.
302 at bats for Grichuk. He's got 21 doubles, 7 triples, 17 home runs, and 47 RBIs in half the season's at bats.
The 2-1.
Finnegan listed at 5'11", 185, and if he were not left-handed, he probably would not have been drafted. Definitely not in the first round, 17th overall.
On the inside corner, may have been a little bit low as Reynolds flips his bat in disgust. 2 strikeouts in the inning, but a home run for Randal Grichuk. This is why the Cardinals want to see him back in the lineup. At any point in time, power, production, and this one a long ball into deep left center. Home run number 17. Cardinals on top, 1-0. TV serves up real-time highlights and pitch tracking info on your out-of-market fantasy players live or on demand on over 400 devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Get MLB.TV today. Randal Grichuk, a solo home run, 1-0 Cardinals. And we move to the top of the third. Brennan Bosch. It's been 6 up and 6 down to start the night for tonight's starter, Lance Lynn. Bosch is hitting .145. No home runs and 4 RBIs. 2 balls and no strikes. Tucker Barnhart, switch hitting catcher on deck, and then the pitcher, Brandon Finnegan. Pittsburgh and Colorado just underway. They're in the bottom of the third. The Cubs in Milwaukee, no score. The Cardinals with 7 innings out of Jaime Garcia in game 1. Lamb, the starter for the Reds, went 6. Cardinals had to come back late in that game. Off the glove of Lynn and a base hit into center field. Then last night it was John Lackey, 7 innings, 1 earned and 7 strikeouts. If you've never been to spring training, you don't know what you're missing. Escape with the Cardinals to warm sunshine and blue skies in Jupiter, Florida on your next Cardinals vacation. For more details, visit cardinals.com/vacations or call 1-800-892-7687. If you haven't done it, make sure you take it in.
A lot of fun, isn't it? Players are so much more relaxed, accommodating, up close and personal.
Here's Tucker Barnhart. The story for John Lackey last night was the 3 ground ball double plays. He's now induced 28 of those this year. I think the Cardinals now, you've got to give him serious consideration to being your game 1 starter in the playoffs if you start here. And a ground ball. Here's 2. 6-4, 3 on the double play.
Lackey's the leader, but Lance Lynn has learned from it. And of course, Lance is getting a lot more ground balls this year. You see that ball just running away? Hits down on it, and Cardinal infield good enough to get those ground balls and do what a pitcher's best friend, the double play.
The organization as a whole does not get enough credit for not only the young players they developed this year and brought up. Tommy Pham, Stephen Piscotty, some of the regulars that have been developed by the club, obviously a Matt Carpenter or Lance Lynn, but also think about the Lackey deal. It's one of the great steals, if not the best, of 2015.
I always like John Mozeliak's approach of you're trying to get a player not only for this year, but at least one more year. And then with the contract friendly condition to Lackey where he comes over here for the major league minimum, boy, he's been a steal, as you said. And I said it last night, I'll say it again. The way he's pitched, I'd like to see him sign back with the Cardinals.
You think about Cespedes in New York. Obviously, that's been a tremendous acquisition for the Mets. But this is the full effect of this season. 7 innings, 9 hits yesterday. But they're singles and then erased on double plays. Gave up the long home run early on. And a ground ball that's hit to short. So the leadoff base hit, Bosch erased on a 6-4-3 double play off the bat of Barnhart. Finnegan rounds out to short. Cardinals on top. It's 1-0. Hashtag MW Data Strong Fan. And you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. 1-0 on a home run off the bat of Randall Grichuk. It'll be Cruz, Lynn, and Carpenter for St. Louis. Not only did Brian Price want to get those lefties in against Lance Lynn, but very well could be the final time we see Skip Schumacher here in St. Louis. Batting leadoff tonight, playing left field. And I know he's not one of the great players in the history of the Cardinals. I get it. But for those of us that have been around him day in and day out, and he came up with the club in 2005, there's not a better person we've met.
He's absolutely right. One of our favorites. I think he was a favorite former teammate of Lance Lynn until he hit a 3-run home run against him in Cincinnati to beat him.
Schumacher, part of the 2006 championship club. 2011 made the transition from the outfield to second base for 1 year. He'll be just shy of 10 years in the big leagues, which is a magical number for players, that 10 years of service time. Much of that to do with the financial reasons as to why it's magical.
Max out on your pension after 10.
Here's a 1-1 to Tony Cruz. But that man is one of the real good people in our game.
And as we talked about earlier in the series, that he's so well respected, he'll be in the game when he wants to. He'll want to be a family man for a while, but he'll have a job in baseball.
Here's a 1-2 inside to Tony Cruz. I asked him the other day, I said, what's your favorite memory about being a Cardinal? And he said, it's not when I wore the uniform, it's when I came back first at bat with the Dodgers and I got a standing ovation. He said his family was here because they came on the trip to visit with a lot of friends here in town. And he said it was unexpected and emotional. He said, to me, it's what makes this place the special place that it is in the game of baseball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tony Cruz hitting 180.
Finnegan wants to be a starter. Remember, he got called up to the big leagues and he was a reliever. Started the season with Kansas City, he was 3-0, and then with his 1 win in his first major league start last week, he's 4-0 this year, but it was 0-6 in the minor leagues as a starter.
How about his choice words for the Royals? He said
I saw that.
He wasn't impressed with how the Royals treated him, telling Jonathan Littner of the Courier-Journal they thought the club had no idea what they were doing with his development. You don't hear that very often.
No.
3-2. A player may think it, but they don't say it publicly.
He is young.
Leadoff walk, and it brings in Lynn, who has 5 sacrifices this year. You know, it's funny we say that the Cardinals can't shake Pittsburgh, they can't shake Chicago. From their perspective, they say, when are the Cardinals going to lose?
It's much more frustrating for Chicago and Pittsburgh than it is for the Cardinals.
Pittsburgh right now a 2-run lead over Colorado. That's bunted foul.
Frazier really charging from the third base position, and that forces Lance to hit it down the first base line. But we noted last night when we saw that Carpenter doing it, and the pitcher, you know, not getting the bat out in fair territory and bunts it foul. Lance normally is pretty good at this, but it seems like this year some of the worst bunting I've seen by pitchers, and all pitchers.
Here's an 0-1. It's odd how defensively Cincinnati played it on the first 2 pitches. Phillips was maybe 5 to 10 feet off the right field line and then raced to the position at second base, almost as if he was inviting the Cardinals to swing the bat.
Yeah, you watch where he is, and now he's much sooner is getting more normal second base position.
And a strikeout of Lynn. And on that position, it wasn't even close to where he was the first 2. Final game is Sunday, the home game here at Busch Stadium. All fans entering with a ticket receive a 2016 Cardinals magnet schedule presented by Shelter Insurance and a ticket voucher for next year. Kids 48 inches and under receive a free Six Flags ticket. Visit cardinals.com/promotions for more info.
I always thought that was one of the greatest ticket offers. Come to the last game, regular season, and get a ticket for any game next year for other than opening day.
Carpenter with a drive, deep right, at the track, it's at the wall, and it is gone! Number 25, Matt Carpenter. 25 home runs, RBIs 78 and 79, and a 3-0 lead for the St. Louis Cardinals.
He left that ball down and in, and then with that uppercut, a power swing, he's created more strikeouts, but a lot more damage.
And it brings in Tommy Pham.
See the breaking ball coming right in on him and powering that ball. That is his 15th home run since he's been moved to the leadoff spot.
All the runs scored tonight with 2 outs. 1 ball and 1 strike. The next 2, Tommy Pham on a 1-1 pitch. Remember back in the first, Finnegan struck out Carpenter on that breaking ball. This time Carpenter got him for a 2-run homer. Pham rips it into center field. Bosch won't get there. Playing very deep. And Tommy hustling out of the batter's box. Makes the wide turn around the bag at first. And he's 1 for 2. Where would the Cardinals be without Piscotty and Pham? Called up on July 21st. Steven Piscotty leads the team in hits. Last call up was August 17th for Pham, and it's really recently he's gone on a tear when you think about his series against Milwaukee, and it is carried over to what we've seen all the way here to tonight. And now Holiday, who lined out to center. Pham picked off. No, back in safely.
He was leaning and then had one false step towards second, and then he had to get back quickly as Finnegan was going to throw over, and he goes to the rear of the base, gets back safely. But I wouldn't want to go any further out there.
The presence of Matt Holliday changes the complexion of this lineup. 1 out runner at first. Holliday, you give him the benefit of the doubt. He's been one of the most feared hitters for a decade plus. One of the great hitters in the last 10 years. So you think about giving him the benefit of the doubt coming back. With others, you want to see production and timing back before the playoffs get here.
You're a hitter like Holiday, and all of a sudden you see a pitcher just keep on throwing to first base. Kind of tells you that he's afraid to pitch to you. So Matt lined the ball very hard to center field the first time up.
Bosch in center, very, very deep. First pitch is strike.
Bosch playing on top of the arch. The arch cut into the grass here at Busch Stadium.
Here's a 1-1 pitch to Holiday.
Finnegan's trying to get in on Matt. Fastball in.
And a 2-1. Pham is leaning, not running. 2-2. Finnegan, 17th overall pick in 2014. And already a few others from that draft have made impacts felt in the major leagues. Kyle Schwarber comes to mind. He was the 4th overall pick by the Cubs in 2014.
Back inside, fastball.
And a 2-2 pitch. Holiday, deep drive, right center. This ball is off the wall. Bam. Being waved in. Relay to the plate. Safe. Holiday drives in his first in a long, long time. 4-0 Cardinals. And all the runs have been scored with 2 outs.
And that's what Matt is. He's a run producer. Normally has tremendous second halves. Tommy Pham got a good read on this. Of course, he's taken off here and just running hard all the way around, gets a signal to come in. Really shouldn't be watching like that because that slows you down, but he had it easily. Really nice to see Holiday really smoke both these balls and then to have some speed on the base paths to where you, instead of going first to third, it's all the way home for a run.
So 1 out. 4-0 St. Louis. Runner at second is Holiday. And a right-hander getting loose for Cincinnati in their pen. And it brings in Johnny Peralta. And a breaking ball that's in the dirt. Well, certainly this is not what they wanted to see out of Finnegan here in this ball game. In the 3rd inning, and already your bullpen up.
Well, you know, Dan, Finnegan wants to be a starter, and he was critical of the Royals who had him in the relief, but right now he's proving that was the correct decision.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. And the Cardinals seem very comfortable in the batter's box against Finnegan. Getting some good hacks.
Already a couple home runs. He has struck out 4, but there's been some hard hit balls. A couple home runs.
And a 1-1 pitch with Holiday, your runner at second base. Just watching Matt running towards second base. Trotting. Doesn't look overly comfortable, but still, he'll be very smart. And when he needs to turn it up a notch or two. And the 1-2 to Johnny Peralta. Finnegan, his second strikeout in the inning, and that's 5 in 3 innings. The wait is finally over. 2 legendary heavyweights meet for the first time as Josh Barnett takes on Roy Nelson in a long-awaited matchup. Plus, it's the biggest challenge yet for Uriah Hall as he takes on Gegard Mousasi. UFC Fight Night is Saturday at 9 only on FS1. Here's Stephen Piscotty.
A lot of Piscotty's RBIs have come with 2 outs.
He struck out back in the second. He's 0 for 1.
Hit 309 since the All-Star break. 20 of his 33 RBIs are with 2 outs.
The 0-1 pitch to Piscotty. It's sharply to Phillips. Nice play on a couple of hops. And retires Stephen Piscotty, who's 0 for 2. But Holiday, first start here tonight, he comes through with a double and an RBI. And they lead this ball game 4-0. DirecTV standings in the National League Central Division. St. Louis with a lead of 4, magic number of 8. And Chicago is 6 back. That's presented by DirecTV. Matt Holliday returns to the lineup tonight for the first time since July 29th. Run scoring double for a 4-0 lead over Cincinnati. Here is Schumacher, the top of the lineup, and takes a ball.
Skip hit a 3-run home run off of Lance to beat him in Cincinnati on our last road trip. He's had a very good year. Leads the major leagues in pinch hits, pinch hit doubles, and a little more playing time than he would get here, and he's hit well.
Well, the Cardinals actually did him a favor. You know, the door was open there for him to come back. However, it wasn't a contract that would be for nearly as much money that he got with the Dodgers. And then Cincinnati offered him a 2-year deal. 3-1.
You're absolutely right. You know, people like Skip, you know, you get to a point where, you know, at times you got to say, okay, we have to part ways, but we have so much respect for you.
Into shallow left, and Holliday there. Are they the 3 best teams in the National League in baseball?
They got the 3 top records in all of baseball.
Incredible. St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and Chicago.
Is it Kansas City after that? Kansas City has 87 wins, Toronto 86, New York 85. But just look at the Central Division, everybody playing well, and it's going to be one heck of a wild card series. That one play-in game, Arrieta against Cole, something like that. And remember, they play next weekend, or this weekend. They'll play in Chicago, the Pirates and Cubbies.
Cubs also have a makeup date with Kansas City before this is all said and done. It'll be next Monday as they wrap up the home portion of their schedule on the 28th. 1 ball, 1 strike on Todd Frazier, who lined out his first time up. Into left center. This will drop for a base hit.
I don't think Tommy Pham really got a good read on that one. Peralta just kept on going back out there like he should, but that ball was well into the outfield, and kind of Tommy with his head down, you kind of get that feeling that he realized he should have been there.
This also gives you an indication of how Holliday is running. You know, normally he makes that play easily.
Yeah, you see there's Peralta going out, but it was beyond his reach. But infielder going to go out there until he's called off, and he wasn't called off. But I still think that's Tommy Pham's ball. And just look at him, you kind of tell it looks like he's a little upset with himself if he didn't get a better jump.
So here's Joey Votto, who struck out looking back of the first inning. Lynn has struck out 3. He's allowed 2 base hits and no walks. Cardinals turn to double play off the bat of Barnhart back in the 3rd. Strike 1. Final time we see the Cincinnati Reds in 2015.
Cardinals trying to win. They've already won the series, but they're trying to go 12-7 for the 2nd consecutive year against the Reds.
0-2 on Votto. First of 4 with Milwaukee tomorrow night. As we wrap up the home portion of the schedule, regular season. First of 3 with Pittsburgh beginning on Monday, and then an off day Thursday. And we head to Atlanta. The Braves with 61 wins. That's it. 30 games below 500.
And remember, they got off to a good start, too.
Yes, they did.
Everybody said, well, maybe John Hart knew what he was doing. But how about, is it up to 22 winless starts for Shelby Miller, and still got an ERA like under 3?
He's getting into that Anthony Young conversation. Anthony Young had, I believe, 28 or 29 consecutive starts without a win. Taken low. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And you remember early in the season, a lot of people were talking Shelby Miller, you know, he was one of the top pitchers, maybe having a Cy Young year. Hayward really hadn't got on track yet. Looks one-sided, but Shelby, not his fault. He's just not getting any run support, and Hayward really has turned it on.
Two balls and 2 strikes.
See that last one, you see how much he fell towards first base, and the ball's up. Steer it back in.
Outfield is shallow. From 0-2 to a full count. See if they want to start. Todd Frazier has 13 stolen bases this year.
You know, Dan, that's when you get a guy like Botto and you get ahead in the count, and then you say, okay, I'm going to widen the plate a little bit, get him to get himself out, but he just doesn't expand his zone. And you've got to throw a strike or he'll take the walk.
Line drive, and it's off the glove of Carpenter. And still with time, no, does not get the man at second base, Frazier. May have gotten a little ahead of himself if he makes that catch to spin and throw for a potential double play, and instead everybody's safe and it's ruled a hit.
You wonder if this ball was knuckling on him. You see him there at second base. Hard hit ball goes up there, it goes up the webbing, and then he kind of knocked it, had to track it down, and Frazier hustling all the way, beats it out at second base.
And now Brandon Phillips, one of the hottest hitters in their lineup.
And we talked about too with Bruce on deck and his lofty numbers against Lance. He's got to do right here, make good pitches on Phillips.
Struck out back in the second inning.
Three double plays last night really saved his bacon. He pitched really well once again.
1-1. Hit down the right field line and out of play. Inning started with a fly out by Schumacher. Frazier, a bloop single. And a shallow left center field, and a line drive that was not caught by Carpenter off his glove, ruled a hit. Lynn very well could be out of this inning.
Trying to hit 300 for the first time in his career. He's at 295. And as you said, he's been hot, so it's a realistic opportunity.
Tied him up with that pitch.
Good pitch there. Second strikeout for Phillips. First one swing and a miss. This one he just got locked up with a good pitch up and in. Always hitters like to get their arms extended, and there you saw where Phillips was trying to fight it off his fingertips.
Two on and two outs. And a strike to Jay Bruce. Fly to left his first time up.
You mentioned Bruce came in batting .452, 14 for 31. A double, 2 triples, 3 home runs, and 11 RBIs against Lance Lynn. Got him out the first time.
Gets the call there. 0-2. Can he put him away?
That's really paining tonight. You know, he's really throwing the ball on both sides of the plate very well.
Time is called. Carpenter at second base tonight. 10 feet out on the outfield grass, at least 10 feet. Here's an 0-2.
Don't mind that pitch at all. 0-2. I gave him a chase the ball up.
It out of play. The Angels rallied late in their game today. They're within 1.5 of the Astros. Detroit over the White Sox 7-4. Angels 6-5 over Houston. Lynn cannot get on the same page as Cruz.
Davies pitching against Hendrick. Milwaukee at Chicago, and Milwaukee has a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th.
Toronto a 1-0 lead over the Yankees. The Sky Dome. Their lead over New York is 2.5. That's in the 7th inning. Here's a 1-2. And the 2-2 popped up. Reynolds, Cruz out of play.
Pirates now lead 5-0. Still batting in third. Just got to take care of your own business. Get down the stretch. You know, if you can get a bonus, some spoiler knocks off one of the team you're competing with, so be it.
2-2 is a ground ball handled easily by Piscotty. Red Strand 2. Bruce is 0 for 2. 4-0 St. Louis. Jimmy, what do you have?
If you don't mind, Dan, Grichuk says that right elbow is light years away from where it was, but still not 100%. He told me he can make some pretty crisp throws to the cutoff man, but throwing home may be a challenge. He said he's still not maxed out on his throwing program limit of 120 feet, but he says he's close. He did make a couple of throws to the cutoff man in his last start. He told me he probably babied that elbow too much. He says he's looking to throw with a little bit more gusto tonight. Dan, he told me before the game that his biggest challenge has been at the plate. He's still trying to find that timing, but so far it looks like he's got a handle on it with that home run that he already hit.
Yeah, 1 for 2 tonight. Solo home run into left center. Number 17, RBI number 47. And quickly there's one out here in the home half of the fourth. Brings in Mark Reynolds, who was called out on strikes, caught looking on a low strike. 0 for 1. Finnegan, part of the Johnny Cueto deal. Cueto has made 10 starts with Kansas City. He is 2-6 with an ERA over 5.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
It is. As well as he has pitched against the Cardinals over the years, how well he was pitching with Cincinnati to start this season up until he was traded. And that will be a base hit into right field off the bat of Reynolds.
Cueto was projected to be one of the top free agent pitchers out there, and his value has diminished. It could be very costly, and I'm not sure why the Royals would want to re-sign him. To give up 3 young left-handers for him and then just run him.
Wait until October.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he has a great run and he thrusts himself to the #1 guy.
Sure,
you never know.
Yeah, sure could. Where Davis is now going to take over as a closer.
And a ground ball off the bat of Cruz. 6-4-3. Nice turn at second base. The Gold Glover Brandon Phillips. We head to the 5th. Cardinals on top 4-0. Show. Top of 5 rolls in. 4-0 St. Louis. Suarez, Bosch, and Barnhart due up for Cincinnati. Lynn pitching out of trouble last inning with 2 runners on, and an old nemesis at the plate, Jay Bruce. Got him to ground out to end the top of the 4th. Suarez is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Lynn with 4 of those tonight. And he's allowed 3 base hits. Outfield very shallow. First pitch is a strike. On the air tomorrow will come your way at 6:30 with Cardinals baseball. Milwaukee in town for the first of 4. Michael Wacha, Carlos Martinez, Jaime Garcia, John Lackey lined up for St. Louis. Ground ball left side taken there by Reynolds. And he makes the play. By the way, tomorrow is a 6:15 first pitch, so we'll be on the air at 5:30.
And we'll still be on the air at 6:30.
So the early start tomorrow.
Good to see Lance Lynn throwing strikes. His last 10 starts, he had a 4.32 ERA and 30 walks and only 36 strikeouts.
This unique lineup put together by Mike Matheny, Mark Reynolds starting for just the 15th time at third base. And Carpenter his 10th start at second. Lynn off the mound, flips to first, 2 down. Cooper Tires proud to present Fireworks Night on Friday, September 25th. The Cardinals take on the Brewers. Stay in your seats. After the game, you'll watch a dazzling fireworks display. It's all coming up, and that'll be this Friday. Tucker Barnhart grounded into a double play. He's 0 for 1. One ball, 1 strike.
On time when Lance pitches, we always talk about we don't worry about his pitch count, but it is noteworthy to see him 2 outs here in the 5th inning with just 69 pitches.
One-zero pitch, round ball. 3 ground ball outs here in the 5th inning from Lance Lynn. Midway through 5, St. Louis on top. side, and a couple of home runs hit for the Cardinals tonight. Randall Grichuk, a solo shot, then Matt Carpenter, this 2-run homer. Number 25 for Carpenter. No disrespect to Matt. I did not ever envision him hitting 25 home runs.
No, and remember a couple weeks ago we were talking about not going to have a 25 home run guy or a 90 RBI player. Well, we got the 25 home runs, and Matt also leads in RBIs. He's at 79, so it's not beyond possibility of reaching 90.
Handful of games left to go.
Dan, that's the one thing. This has been a remarkable year. Cardinals 95 wins, and you really can't say anybody's having a career year from the offense.
It's all about the pitching this year.
Isn't it always?
If you win.
Yeah. Pitching, defense, just make the routine plays. That's what the Cardinals do.
I think the Reds are a great example of what we're talking about. The middle of their lineup is as good as anybody's.
No doubt.
And they're all having good years, too.
The Reds, for the second consecutive year, Brian Price has just been handcuffed. Only 17 times in the last 2 years has Brian Price been able to put out his projected lineup.
Lifted out to left field, and Schumacher traps it. It's a base hit for Lance Lynn.
A very nice play by Skip, and I was talking to Lance a little bit today about how much he's improved as a hitter. Probably the biggest improvement of the Cardinal pitchers is Lance Lynn. That's his 8th hit of the year. He's batting over 150, and on his career well under 100. There's the trap, but a nice job in his effort, and also being able to corral that ball and not let it get by him. 17 times Brian Price has been able to put his projected lineup the last 2 years, only 5 times this year. First 5 games of the year.
You said it earlier. I mean, the bottom line is all these rookie starters trying to figure out what they have, but along the way you get beat up.
And it's really been kind of remarkable. They have to have so many arms down there in the bullpen, because just about every one of these kids are 5-inning pitchers at best. The pitch count gets up there. They're pitching from down, trailing in a ball game. But a lot of them, and they've got a couple keepers. Some of them will end up in the bullpen, some will be in the rotation, and they'll look back 2 or 3 years from now and they'll remark about how much they learned. A tough way to learn at this level, when you're not quite major league ready. And
one is pulled foul, and Chris Maloney with a nice play down at first base. Kia in the driver's seat. Since 2013, the most multi-hit games. And much of that has been done out of the leadoff spot. 156 for Carpenter. Tommy Pham waits on deck. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Carpenter. Carpenter again, deep right. This is trouble for the Reds. This ball is gone. His second home run of the night. His second 2-run homer of the night. Number 26 for Carpenter.
Well, we talked about those multi-hit games. Well, he put a punctuation mark in this one with 2 home runs, 2 2-run shots. 81 RBIs now for Carpenter, along with his 26 home runs, and the Cardinals have a 6-0 lead. We're getting a well-pitched game from Lance Lynn, and finally Lance gets some run support.
A curtain call for Matt Carpenter, and a strike to Tommy Pham. 6-0 St. Louis. Base hit by Lynn, and then the 2-run homer. Carpenter has struck out tonight. That was on the breaking ball. Then in the third, a breaking ball for a 2-run homer. This one, the fastball, and he didn't miss it.
So another pitch in the middle of the plate, down in the zone where lefty likes it. They were going to pinch hit for Finnegan at the top of this inning. The Reds would have had a fourth batter. It would have been the pitcher's spot. They were going to hit for him.
7 hits tonight for the Cardinals. 3 have been home runs. Tommy Pham has singled and scored. He's 1 for 2. Pham strikes out. 6 tonight for Finnegan. Get all the flavor without all the work. McDonald's new barbecue pulled pork sandwich. It's here for a limited time.
Dan, it might not have anything to do with it, but I just think when you look at the lineup and you put Holiday in there, you put Grichuk in there, and psychologically it has an effect.
Like I said earlier, it's just a different look, and with that power in there and that potential for damage, and you also may pitch guys a little differently too.
Sure. Yeah. And then all of a sudden your bench becomes a little stronger too.
Second multi-home run game of the season and of his career for Matt Carpenter. 1 ball, 1 strike. Holiday doubled off the wall in right center, picked up an RBI, his 32nd this year. The 1-1.
Milwaukee's picked up another run. They lead 2-0 in the 7th.
Pittsburgh 5-1 in the top of the 4th. If they win tonight, they are in the playoffs.
Never know. That's in Colorado.
It's early there. 4th inning, that means nothing.
No.
3-1 on Holiday. Matt knows all about that.
And you can know those two clubs looking up at the Cardinals, and they see the Cardinals leading 6-0. That is what pressure is all about too.
3-2. Strikeout of Holiday. Number 7 tonight for Finnegan. What's on Tap is presented by Budweiser, and again will come your way tomorrow at 5:30 with the pregame show. Michael Walker trying to become a 17-game winner. Budweiser, what's on tap? Milwaukee in town for the first of 4. Two outs. Here's Peralta. Johnny is 0 for 2 tonight. And a ground ball that's hit to Todd Frazier down at third. 7 hits tonight, 6 runs, 3 home runs. Began in the second inning, Randal Grichuk with number 17. Then a 2-run homer for number 25 for Carpenter in the third. Why not do it again? That's number 26 with a 2-run shot. Over 40,000 here tonight. They're loving it. 6-0 Cardinals. Our DraftKings players to watch: Bryant, Pham, Bird, and Santana. Greg Bird had a 3-run homer in the 10th for the Yankees last night. Their dramatic win over Toronto. Tommy Pham has been terrific. Enter the promo code CARDS, DraftKings.com.
It's amazing. Somebody steps up every night. The contributions you got from the rookies, and you got your old faithfuls. Carpenter, Garcia now playing second base, as Carpenter has gone to third base, and Reynolds is over at first base now.
The Scotty shifts from first to left. This is Jason Bourgeois, the pinch hitter for Finnegan.
We talked about Cardinals get a lead, and then you put in your defense.
Finnegan tonight, 5 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs. Walked 1, struck out 7, gave up 3 home runs, 72 total pitches. Here's an 0-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jason Bourgeois. He's been in the leadoff spot for games 1 and 2. Off the bench tonight here in game 3. 3 for 8 in the series. And the 1-2.
Gotten a lot of playing time recently since Billy Hamilton. His season is through. He'll have shoulder surgery Friday. Injured it diving for a ball and re-aggravated it recently.
Hamilton scheduled for surgery Friday, I believe.
They're both a little surprised, but they're playing very cautious with him. That, you know, thought that keeping him active, you know, as just a pinch runner, but they don't want to do anything to where a collision or something could injure that shoulder.
I guess you're thinking, well, you're out of the race. What's the point?
Yeah.
I get it. But it's his shoulder, not his legs.
Right.
But the collision aspect of it is the concern, I would guess. There's Billy Hamilton, 57 steals this year. They were batting him 8th or 9th in their lineup.
Pitcher 8th, he was batting 9th.
Back to Len for the out.
Not as tough a play as the one that Lackey had last night, but still will get your heartbeat going. Throw that pitch, you end up 55 feet or so away from home plate. You feel like you're charging a line drive coming right back at you.
Schumacher is grounded out to short and also flied to left. We began the year, one of the main things we talked about, rule changes in the game of baseball and batters stepping out of the batter's box, and we thought, boy, this could really affect Skip Schumacher. Now, ball that's hit out of play, he can do this. Routine ball or strike, he cannot.
I don't think there's really been an issue, has it?
No.
Went along pretty smooth, and guys realize they don't have to do all the gyrations.
Some guys were fine, but it was done quietly by Major League Baseball. So he's still in the batter's box. So 1 foot is in, then back in the box to hit.
That used to be called the human rain delay. Mike Hargrove would do that, and it was so unusual that they came up with, oh, he's the human rain delay. But he would take 1 foot outside of the batter's box, readjust his gloves, and nobody else did it. Now it's the most routine. after a swing.
Two and two the count. One out and nobody on.
He's been calling for the slider, and all Lance was put down number one. That's all I want to throw. Variations of my fastball.
3-2 is hit to the right side. Nice play. Reynolds leads Lynn. 2 down.
Real nice feed by Reynolds there. He's shown that he has really soft hands when he's playing first base, and made that nice play. And your pitcher running to first base, you want the ball about chest high, preferably leading ever so slightly, and get it to him quick enough to where he can catch it and then locate the base.
With 2 outs and nobody on, here's Todd Frazier. Frazier, a blue base hit into left center, also lined out to short.
.35 home runs, over 40 doubles.
Strike one. I can see where the Reds front office would say, well, we're not that far away. I think you have to say that to your fan base. However, realistically, if they don't get pitching, it's going to be same old next year.
Yeah, I think we're all saying that, yeah, you've got a very good offense. And if guys can stay healthy, it'd even be better. But where's your pitching? And you have to overpay, even if you could get a free agent to want to go to Cincinnati, a place where not many pitchers look forward to going, or pitching 81 times there, 81 games there, because it's such a bandbox.
And the 1-1. There's a slider, and it's 1-2.
And I've been saying I want to see Lackey come back here, but if you've got all those rookie pitchers, the Reds, if they're looking for pitching help, they need to get it better. Somebody to help teach the young guys, and Lackey not only can teach them how to pitch, but also how to be mean, and that's a very important part of being a pitcher.
Popped up on the infield. Peralta, and a 1-2-3 inning for Lance Lynn. 8 in a row for the big right-hander of St. Louis.
applies just for you now. Now with the StubHub app, you can select your favorite team and artist and discover new ones too. Start at StubHub and let your fun find you. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the St. Louis Cardinals. Colin Ballister is taking over here. This will be his 12th big league appearance. All out of relief. He's 1-0 with a 5.23 ERA.
Now hold on. I was blocking you reading that, the promo.
And also trying to read it from 8 feet away.
We've only done it 5,827 times this year.
No, you've done it 5,826 times.
Well done, Al.
Thanks for the help.
You got it. It was pretty helpful, wasn't it? Blocking your view.
And I don't know if anybody's told you this, but you're more like a door than a window.
I knew you were going there. I just have come to expect it over the years.
Oh, come on. I could have said wall.
Well, you could have. 3-0 on Stephen Piscotty. We have to read the disclaimer, and if it doesn't pop up on the screen, and I've read that probably literally 5,000 times.
More.
And I get in a panic if it doesn't pop up. You would think by this time I know it. Leadoff walk, and here's Randall Grichuk.
When do we do the... do that?
Disclaimer?
Yeah.
Late in the game.
Because I'm going to be a barn door then.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by...
Yeah.
I'll just wait. Barnard out to visit.
Because now you got to think about it.
Oh, I'm all over it. Stuff gets disseminated. Don't copy it. And the commissioner's office get really mad. There it is, the disclaimer. 1 ball, 1 strike on Randall Grichuk. Solo home run back in the second, and flied out to right in the fourth. That's a foul ball, so strike 2.
Is he claiming to hit him in the fingers? Looked like a little change of direction. Mike Matheny out to check on it. David Bell waiting to see.
I couldn't tell. I just go off the reaction of a player. Either he's a good actor or he got hit.
I would say that Grichuk wants to swing the bat. So if he's claiming, and they're going to check it. So if he's claiming to hit him, you know, he wouldn't do that if it didn't hit him. He'd want to hit.
You know, sometimes, and it's interesting what he's doing right here. He took the batting glove off to show that it maybe hit the hand or the top of the hand. You can see Barnard saying, "I heard it." I definitely heard something. I just thought it was the bat. But, you know, sometimes a player can plead his case by showing the umpire a mark.
Well, I was just thinking about the death of Yogi Berra. I remember one time in a World Series or whatever it was that a pitch, you know, his team was claiming this when everyone wore black shoes, that it hit a guy in the foot. And of course there was an argument there, but the ball went over towards the dugout and Yogi went back out there, and who's to say he didn't rub it on his own shoes, but he was going out there with his argument saying, look at the shoe polish on the ball. Well, they bought the shoe polish, but we don't know whose shoe that it came from, and Yogi won that case.
Red Shane Dienst was at the ballpark earlier today, and I asked him about Yogi Berra. So what comes to mind? He said, well, good ball player, great citizen, all the things that you would expect, but of interest is that when Red Schoendienst signed with the Cardinals in that tryout, he was signed by Branch Rickey. Also at that tryout, Joe Garagiola and Yogi Berra. And Yogi Berra, obviously the one that was not signed. There was some that later felt that Branch Rickey was trying to hide Yogi Berra, and Berra not signed by either the Cardinals or the Browns. He wanted to stay in St. Louis. Yankees got him. Rest is history.
And when there's about 3 years difference in age, Red's older, so that might have been a factor too. But I think I also saw where Yogi playing with 18 years with the Yankees and helped them to the World Series 14 times.
It's incredible.
All right, more rings than anybody else, but then think about managing the Yankees, the Mets, down in Houston.
Did you know him well?
No, I can't say well, but knew him, and remember a couple years ago he was in for Whitey Herzog's golf tournament. Has sisters that still live on the hill at that time. Foul ball.
Whitey has said even more than 1982, his most enjoyable experience ever in baseball, not playing, not scouting, not running a farm system, not managing the 82 World Championship team. He said it was being a coach with Yogi Berra. He said it was the most enjoyable experience he ever had in baseball.
Well, Whitey can make friends with anybody and make them feel welcome, and the Yogi-isms. There's a million of them. They're funny as can be, but there's a lot of truth in just about every one of them. Like, when you come to a fork, take it. Fork in the road, take it. Well, because he lived, if you could go left or right, it was like a cul-de-sac in the back, and so there's no way you could go wrong whichever way you went.
Had the chance to meet and interview him a few years ago at KMOX. He had written a book. He wrote countless books. He came in to be interviewed, and he was visiting family and friends, and I mean, he was so good to all the people over there with pictures and autographs, and he will be missed. Back-to-back walks here in the home half of the sixth, and it brings in Mark Reynolds. Hyundai pitch arsenal for this right-hander.
Well, right now, Colin's trying to find one that'll go over for strikes. Come in, you walk the first two men, and that doesn't endear you to your pitching coach, manager. Four-seamer, you didn't see the sinker up there, so you don't think he's not particularly a ground ball pitcher. And hopefully the Cardinals can add on and have a little more fun.
Want to know the count on Mark Reynolds. Struck out looking back in the second and singled to right. First two have reached via the walk, and here's a 1-0. Well, the Reds don't like what they're seeing right now. Back-to-back walks, and a right-hander is throwing in their pen. I wonder if Dusty Baker will get back into it.
I saw a report that he may be headed to Miami.
That's what I saw too.
I miss Dusty.
Popped up. Now, if you're a manager or you're out of the game, you want to get back in if that's your desire. It's a managerial position. However, with the turnover and the craziness that goes on with Miami, that would be a volatile spot, I would imagine.
I got to know Dusty pretty well, and when he left Cincinnati, I think one thing, he was a little concerned about his health, and first and foremost, he wanted to take care of himself. But when you've got it in your blood, and you've done it since you're a 17, 18-year-old, like Dusty, you may sit out that 1 year and you realize how much you're missing. So You want to kind of get back in that rat race. And
I enjoyed him.
Oh, good man.
I was in Chicago and I went out to eat and walked in the restaurant. I heard Dan, 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 and it was Dusty Baker. And we wound up having dinner together for about 3 hours. And I mean to tell you, the stories that were flowing that night from Dusty Baker was as good as it gets. Talking about Hank Aaron being on deck for 7:15 as Reynolds hits it into the corner and left. 1 run will score. Grichuk being waved in. Reynolds drives in a pair, and it's 8-0 St. Louis.
I say he's not a ground ball pitcher, but he gets a ground ball that is hit hard. Frazier is off the line, smokes it down into the corner. Grichuk over in first. He's going to be the second runner to score. He follows Piscotty, and there you can see, obviously, maybe having a little trouble with his right elbow, but not his legs.
Still nobody out. Here in the home half of the 6th. The Cardinals host the Brewers. Fans purchasing the special Billikens Night theme ticket receive an exclusive St. Louis U themed blue and white Cardinals cap. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/theme. Mark Reynolds with a couple of RBIs, 2 hits tonight. He's now up to 46 this year. Ryan Matthews, appearance number 51 in our Chevy, called to the pen. Eight to nothing Cardinals. Here's Tony Cruz. And a strike. Matt Adams is moved to the on-deck circle, so the night for Lynn will be through.
On one side, you could see him going back out for another inning, but boy, anytime you can get like some of these injured guys, give them a chance to hit, I guess you got to take it.
And you buy Lynn some innings.
Sure.
I can see both ways, but
yeah,
to further your point, though, he hasn't pitched a lot recently.
Yeah, he's had some real short outings. And 6 shutout innings tonight with just 3 hits allowed, 3 singles.
0-2 the count on Tony Cruz. So Tyler Lyons is loose and ready to go out of the pen tonight. 8-0 St. Louis. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Reds will go home after the game tonight. They've got 4 games with the Mets this weekend.
And the Mets lost late against Atlanta 6-3.
You think about a short series, really any series, which you're going to face Syndergaard, Harvey, and DeGrom. Mets could be really dangerous in postseason play.
You got the Harvey innings controversy.
Backhanded by Frazier. Looks back the runner at second. 1 away.
I saw somewhere where they skipped DeGrom's start. So wonder what's going on there. Boy, get these young pitchers, you just never know what you project, what you think you have, and then all of a sudden, one funky start. I was trying to mess with Tony West. Tony's inside that little camera right there.
One out and a runner at second base. Shift is on here for Adams. Breaks his bat through the legs of Reynolds. He'll score, and it's 9-0 St. Louis. Right through the legs. He's lucky that didn't have a bad hop.
Yes, he is. They're taking a bad hop, but you see with the shift on, and watch Reynolds holds there, lets it go right between his legs, and still has time to come around and score. So that bad hop wouldn't have felt good. Good to see Adams with a base hit. Now he's been replaced with a pinch runner. Is that Cosma? Yes, it is.
And here is Brandon Moss. No pinch hit for Carpenter. He had a big night with a pair of 2-run homers.
That's what we're talking about, though. When you put Grichuk in there and you put Holiday, all of a sudden you've got Moss, you've got Adams on the bench to come off and put a little fear in the opposition.
The Cardinals could go to 3-0 without Molina in the lineup since the injury on Sunday. I don't think we've talked enough about it, but he's got the tear in the thumb, and he stayed in the game Sunday to catch a guy coming out of the bullpen throwing 100
miles an hour. And I think people would be surprised to know at the end of the year, these catchers, their thumbs are beat up just because every now and then they'll catch a ball a little bit wrong with their glove and it'll hit an area, get bone bruises. But so you can go out there when you think you're totally protected and still get beat up.
Strikeout of Moss. 2 outs. We promised you early in the game, and we deliver. We have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the night. Hashtag MW Data Strong fan. Here's Tommy Pham. 1 for 3 with a run scored tonight.
Toronto shuts out the Yankees 4-0.
Are they the team to beat in the American League?
They're starting their pitching well, since David Price has gotten there, it's gotten so much better.
He's been unbelievable.
But they're going to score a ton of runs, and
The Royals, by the way, still playing for something. They have not wrapped up the division yet. They're trailing 3-1, and they are playing for home field advantage. And if they lose tonight, they would only be a half game in front of Toronto for home field advantage.
That could be a big difference. You
Yeah.
mentioned that Holland is out as the closer, and Wade Davis is in. Holland's had some shoulder issues, and then Davis has just been absolutely lights out. He was the 8th inning man, but his numbers are very, very good. So I'd like to think they're not going to miss a beat.
I've talked to players before, and I've asked them what are the toughest places, where are they to play, and they say that Toronto, when they're playing well, and that place gets rocking, big crowds, very tough place to play. So that could be big. Inside on Pham.
Toronto and Kansas City have very good home records.
And a ground ball off the glove of Frazier, and everybody is safe.
Ball came up on Frazier. He tried to backhand it. Backhand it, comes up a little bit, can't hold on to it. Score that a hit.
We're at home, Al. That's a hit.
I'm happy for Tommy.
First plate appearance for Greg Garcia. Eighth man to come to the plate. Cardinals with a run in the second, 3 in the third, 2 in the fifth, 3 more here in the sixth.
Those 3 runs are all charged to Ballister, who started the inning. He walked 2 and gave up a hit.
And Garcia is in the spot that was occupied by Holiday, his first start since late July, and he went 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Greg Garcia.
Thought Holiday swung the bat well. He lined out to center first time, then he had to throw the ball to the double and RBI, and even the 5th time when he struck out looking, he thought it was ball 4. Probably could have gone either way, so he looked a lot better than we saw him on Monday.
And the 1-2 in the dirt. The at bat on Monday had me concerned, not because he didn't come through, but he just didn't look comfortable at all.
Yeah, and it was a really late moving pitch inside, and it kind of looked like he got all tangled up. And so your eyes did not deceive you, but today is more what we were looking for.
Garcia with a fly ball lifted into center. A 3-run bottom of the 6th for the Cardinals. 10 hits tonight. 9-0 their lead. innings, 3 home runs allowed. Joey Votto is 1 for 2. Lance Lynn has been taken out of the game, but he looked good. 6 innings, 3 hits, struck out 4. And the big story in this game, besides the 9 runs, Matt Carpenter 2 for 3, pair of 2-run homers. Count them up, 4 RBIs. 14th appearance for Tyler Lyons, split between the bullpen and the rotation. The 7th inning will begin with Votto, Phillips, and Bruce as Cosma stays in the game. After pinch running, he'll take over at short. Moss is at first after striking out as a pinch hitter. Reynolds over to third.
Is it John Jay and right?
It is.
Borges, is that Borges in center?
It is. Oh, you said you had bad eyes.
I do. I said those were question marks.
I'm telling you, you got them all. Here's Votto. The first pitch out to center field. Borges back at the wall, and it's gone. A home run. So Joey Votto with home run number 29, RBI number 76, and the Reds are on the board.
It's 2 for 3 tonight. That's his 300th time he's been on base with a hit, walk, or error this year, and does reach the seats. He hit that railing. Ricocheted back into the playing field.
Votto has had a great year. Back healthy and back producing. So home run number 29, and here's Brandon Phillips, who is 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts.
Tyler hasn't pitched since September 18th at Chicago. 2/3 of an inning. He walked 1, struck out 1. No damage.
And a 2-0 pitch. Fly ball into center. Peter Borges. 1 down. Jay Bruce is 0 for 2. He's flied to left and also grounded out. What does Bruce fetch you if you think about dealing him? He's going to hit probably around 250. This year he's at 230. But he hits for power. But how much is that aided because of the ballpark?
Yeah, that's a portion of it. He is only 28 years of age. And he's been doing this for quite a while. He's a franchise leader in games played in right field at only 28. Earlier in his career, there were times when they tried to get him to spray the ball around, hit it to all fields. Never really going to hit for a high average, but he'll hit some long balls, and he can play good defense for you. Very good throwing arm and good defender.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Next by Tyler Lyons. Lifted in the air to left field. Piscotty.
I go away from him, and you can see there's a little breaking ball and gets underneath it. Way out in front on it.
And it brings in Suarez. Had a nice conversation in the dugout today during batting practice with Stephen Piscotty, who actually took a ball off his face. The Cardinals were hitting ground balls to him at first base and trying to work on the quick short hops, and one came up and got him off the glove in the face. We talked afterwards. I said, how's it going? And just working on the position of first base, and he said, well, There's a reason I'm in the outfield. However, it's getting better.
Like under the right eye.
Not sure where it caught him. Home run by Votto to get the Reds on the board. Time to stretch. 9-1. The way things are going tonight, you may see one. Cardinals have hit 3. Cardinals player hits a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Jumbo Diaz is into the ball game. 9-1 in the bottom of the 7th. So let's see if we get a home run for the Honda dealers tonight. Happy birthday to Mark O'Brien from Maryland Heights, Missouri. Mark is celebrating his 60th birthday today. Happy birthday, Mark, and thank you for being a part of Cardinal Nation. Jumbo Diaz.
Big man, but really battled his weight, battled the minor leagues for, what, 10 years?
10 years.
10 years in the minor leagues trying to get up here. You always got to pull for a guy like that.
He had a prominent role in the bullpen at the start of the season. He was high leverage in the 7th and 8th innings.
I remember they were projecting him as a potential closer down the road. Given name is Jose. But Jumbo fits.
John Jay slams down his bat. 1 pitch and 1 away. It's going to be interesting, the decision the Cardinals have with a veteran like John Jay coming up. John has been a part of some championship teams, and was talking with some of the Cardinal personnel. They feel they may have pushed him a little too much in the rehab assignment, brought him back up. His timing has still been an issue for him.
And you know, I think in fairness to John, the type of surgery he had on his wrist, it's not uncommon for that to really take a full year to recover from it. Remember, he was held out in spring training, started the season on the DL, but came back, and then he had to go back on the DL with wrist tendonitis. And so it's kind of been a lost year for him. And then guys like Piscotty and Grichuk, Pham have come up and taken bats away from him. So it's been tough for John Jay, who, like you said, was the only guy that hit 300 on the team last year. Guy that played in the World Series, started those, you know, those games and those years, was prominent part of the offense.
Right now, for Mike Matheny, it'd be very tough to sit Grichuk, Pham, Piscotty, Hayward, Holiday. It's going to be tough enough to get them at bats with that group.
And you know, it's you know, I don't envy Mike and his staff and John Mozeliak and his staff trying to put together those rosters. It's going to be very difficult. And some guys are going to get hurt feelings. But as much fun as the game of baseball is, there is a business aspect to it, and sometimes hard decisions, you know, you might understand them, but somebody's not.
Here's a 3-2. Piscotty hits it out to center field. Ball carries to the track, and the catch is made. By the way, Brian Pena took over at first base. Diaz, your new pitcher, and Ivan De Jesus is at second. The ball was scorched.
Yeah, he really hit well, and said earlier that Bosch plays very deep, and that allowed him to get back with plenty of time and catch that ball. Peter Borges with a chance here. Peter has been for his last 13. Seeing more come in to pinch run or play defense, so tough to get out of a hole when you're not getting many at bats.
So 2 outs and nobody on. And the first pitch is taken inside by Borges. The key move in the game yesterday was Peter Borges pinch running at first base and scoring on a ball in the gap. Borges cranks this one out to deep left. I mean deep. Past Big Mac Land. The 4th Cardinal home run tonight. 10-1 St. Louis.
That's how you break that over. That's how you put your name back in the hat too.
Watch his teammates here. He is very, very well respected inside that dugout.
And he'll get his shower by Martinez. Do you want it in the face or not? They just handed him, give him a drink.
Now Mark Reynolds. Peter Borges just helped the Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. All right, Peter Borges.
Yeah.
Tell you what, that ball was crushed.
It definitely was. I remember, you know, in the winter when he came over with Grichuk in the David Freese Salas deal, and I heard Albert Pujols say that he could see that Borges could hit 20-25 home runs a year, and there's been some times where he'll just get into one and crush it like that.
Hit speed 101 off the bat of Peter Borges. 10-1 St. Louis.
You see the article today talking about, used to always be the fallacy, apparently it's the fallacy. It was like you say, oh, the guy throws so hard, all you have to do is center it, and the velocity of the pitch thrown will supply the distance. And they're saying that's really not true.
That is pulled fair. What a night here for Mark Reynolds. A pair of doubles and a single and a 3-hit night.
And they're saying that the hardest hit balls are usually on off-speed pitches.
It's about bat speed.
It's bat speed and just the fact that you know, sometimes the off-speed pitch, you catch it better, easier to center it because it's at a lower velocity. That was kind of interesting. But and then also the reference point said Borges was right at 100 miles an hour. That the average major league was about 88.
Yeah.
It kind of gives you the reference point there.
It's something that's become more popular among front offices to look at velocity, hit velocity, speed velocity off the bat.
Really makes sense.
The Cardinals in the last 5 years have taken a hard look at that when evaluating players.
And it was something that they were one of the pioneers.
Yep.
Doing that. And it makes sense, you know. And we think about, you know, a guy like Holiday, how hard he hits the ball consistently. You know, low ball hitter. Well, those balls are going to go through.
Well, I kind of get a kick out of it because people say, you mean to tell me if he hits it hard, that's a good thing? Yes, that's what I'm telling you, that there's a better chance to find a hole. It's not that hard to figure out.
Well, the slower it is, the more range, right. You know, the more a guy can get in front of it or get to it. But if you just power it past a fielder.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
It's like, what? You mean to tell me that if he hits it hard, there's a good chance for a base hit? Up the middle. And Cruz is retired. Long home run off the bat of Peter Borges. Just past Big Mac land to the back of the seats. Our studio and a Bomberito Sports Update with Pat Paris. Miguel Sokolovic is into the ball game for St. Louis. Third pitcher used by the Cardinals tonight. This is our Chevy call to the pen. And his 27th appearance overall.
He's done a nice job. Signed as a minor league free agent. Went to spring training and saw that he had the ability to throw strikes. Didn't seem like he was afraid or fazed by any situation. Had a good changeup, good slider, and spots his fastball well enough.
Brennan Bosch looks at a strike. Travis Tartamella is your new catcher making his major league debut. He's known for his glove, not for his bat. I'm sure his heart is pounding right now. One away. Saturday, the postseason races, well, they're just coming down to the wire. And you don't want to miss the heart-pounding action. National League wild card, the Pirates and the Cubs, and then later, FS1. Oh, we've got it for you. Brewers and Cardinals, that'll come your way at 5:30 here from Busch Stadium. Only on FS1.
The bottom of the ninth in Chicago, with the Cubbies trailing 4-1.
It's coming up, the postseason of 2015.
Fox Sports 1 and Big Fox be prominent.
And now you'll be on the post-game shows that we have here locally.
Still alive.
Al, you'll be here.
I'm anticipating it.
You know something I don't?
No. It's a long way away. A couple weeks.
Al is listed as day-to-day.
Day-to-day.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. Four home runs hit by the Cardinals tonight. First 4 home run game this year.
I was going to say, when's the last time? I couldn't remember one this year. Peter Borges got the 4th.
July 11th of 2014, the last time the Cardinals had 4 home runs in a game. So a span of 220. Here's a 2-2. There's that changeup again. Had him out in front. Tucker Barnhart popped up into foul territory. There's Moss. 2 down.
He's got that, he kind of jumps at the hitter and everything. You get all that momentum and his motion, but then the ball just oozes out, and a good change of speed gets a lot of people out in front. Whereas a relief pitcher, you only face a guy once a night. You just can't really settle in and kind of learn his motion.
Brian Pena. Changeup in for a strike.
And you got the start last night. That was his first start in about 10 days since he had been nursing a hamstring pull.
Here's a 1-1 to Brian Pena.
And they're having a little fun in Colorado.
I heard all about it. The update with Pat Paris.
Did they give it 7-6?
I think he did. I guess I didn't listen closely enough.
I thought it was all about Walker.
Neil Walker.
Neil Walker for the Pirates, the big day he's having, but all of a sudden it's a 1-run ball game and they're in the bottom of the 5th. Never know in Colorado.
A strikeout of Pena. tell you, baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Make a plan to make it home. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. A steady hand to that camera, Al. I mean, just slow tilt. You're mesmerized. You're back into the game now. You're back into Busch Stadium. And all of a sudden you're saying, hey, it's the bottom of the 8th. Let's go.
And with a 9-run lead. I think the offense has done a great job today. No errors by the Cardinals. No errors by either team. But the outstanding pitching we're accustomed to seeing. And now the offense to match it. This is Contreras.
And this is Cosma. $43,729 the attendance tonight. 43729.
Cubbies lose 4-1.
They actually lost, huh?
Yep.
Cardinals hold on tonight. St. Louis would be 7 games in front of the Chicago Cubs. That game on Sunday was so important.
It really was. Kind of built a little momentum. You stop them down a little bit. You get yourself ready to come in with this homestand. And the Cardinals really have to take care of business against Cincinnati, on the verge of sweeping. And you got to just take care of business with Milwaukee coming in for 4.
And Al, it's a numbers game too. You know, Chicago is running out of time and games being eliminated off the schedule. 7 games out potentially after tonight as Moss takes a ball low.
Cardinals would have 10 games remaining. The 7 up on the Cubs. Could be either 4 or 5 on the Pirates. At the very least, the Cardinals would reduce their magic number down by 1. Be 7, right?
Moss pops it up near the screen, and Moss has a life.
That's a tough play. Like it come right down maybe on the brick of the backstop, not on the screen. See if it goes off the top of the brick. No. Couldn't really locate it. Was drifting on it. Couldn't reach it. Moss can get that uppercut, can he?
Big time.
That's why you see all the swing and misses, but when he connects, he can hit it.
Like that. So the magic number, if the Cardinals win tonight, reduced to 7. If Pittsburgh loses, it would be at 6 going into play tomorrow. Any combination of Cardinals wins, Pittsburgh losses, that adds up to 6. After tomorrow, if that's indeed the magic number, when the Cardinals win the Central Division Championship, they will have earned it.
The Cubs would be down to 4 for the Cubs to be eliminated.
Here's a 3-2, and Moss again can't hit it much higher. Bosch playing very deep, had to come way in from center field to make that catch. Cosma back to the bag at first. But it is a good reminder for everybody that the post-game shows will be coming up for the playoffs on Fox Sports Midwest. Travis Tartamella, first at bat in the major leagues. Hits it to the right side. It's a base hit. Tartamella, his first major league hit. Welcome to the show.
They gave him the ball and everything else, but isn't that a great story? Tartamella hit .203 and 9 RBIs in 40 games at the minor league level. Rated as the best catcher, defensive catcher in the minor leagues by Baseball America coming into this year. Not noted for his hitting at all, and of course it goes up the first time, and he's batting 1,000 now. Congratulations.
Saw the gentleman at the end there grab the baseball. Every ball right there is documented so that if you have a birthday or celebrating something with your family, you're here at the ballpark, a special moment, whatever the case may be, and you want to get something from the game, you can do that. And every major league ballpark has got security. Many of them are off-duty police officers or retired officers, and so they authenticate those baseballs. And you could go to Cardinals Authentics tonight if you wanted to, if you were at this game.
See the stickers
and head right over there and pick up your baseball that you wanted.
See the stickers right there, and they'll place one of those on it and label it in the file.
Could be 2 out at second and safe at first. From the top of my head, I don't need to read it, Al, but just in case, this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. No issues.
No issues.
Except you were trying
to
choke.
Tripped when I fell on you.
It was uncalled for, Al.
It won't happen until tomorrow.
A ball inside to Jay.
Let's get Johnny get a hit. Cardinals up to 13 hits with their 10 runs.
1 ball, 1 strike. John Jay is 0 for 1. Bonnie Paris, who works here at the ballpark with Cardinals Care, celebrating her birthday. Happy birthday to Bonnie. Travis Tartamella, first career major league hit. Now he can breathe. They'll never forget this night. Get to the World Series. Let's just say that they win the World Series. Travis Tartamella would have a World Series ring. Any player that appears in a game, any of them, one pitch, doesn't matter.
Hey, he deserves one. Batting 1,000.
Isn't that great, though?
And the best thing is, he looked like he'd done that before. You know, act like you've been there. And well, he went to first base after that base hit, nonchalant, came in, got congratulations. But you're right. You know, he's flying high right now. Can't wait to hear from his family and pass along to his best friends, you know, what transpired, and they're probably already burning up his phone lines.
A lot of times, I know you get asked this too. We get asked, well, who gets the rings? How does it work? And from a player's perspective, if you appear in a game, any point in time, one pitch, you receive that World Championship ring.
And the scouts all through the organization, all the employees. I mean,
Skip Schumacher in what could be his final at bat ever here at Busch Stadium. Singles to left center. So with a 10-1 lead, the Cardinals playing behind Schumacher, and now it's Todd Frazier.
Sure, it's going to be a wild pitch there, but Tartamella has to. You know, he's familiar and knows what Tuivailala, what his action on his pitches looked like. It was that cutter, which we got real excited about. And think about some of these young pitchers that have come up, the job they've done.
Two and one to count. Terry, the guard, is working hard tonight. A lot of people around the ballpark always want to wish her well, and she was under the weather this year. Especially the umpires. We hear from them a lot. Run into an umpire, they make sure and say, you know Terry? Yeah, we know Terry. How's she doing? Great. Make sure that you pass along our best wishes. Swing and a miss. That pitch at 95 from Sam Tuivailala.
Sam had a good year at the AAA level. He's done a nice job when he has pitched at the big leagues. Ties up a good hitter up and in. Just really locked him up. Let's see, there was nothing fluid about that swing. De Jesus Jr., his first plate appearance. He looks facially so much like his father. He did have a little playing time here in St. Louis.
And a strike. Nice note here from Joe. Wants to wish Kyle and Katie best wishes, their engagement. Let's hit the other way. Jay on the move and near the line, sliding It is a fair ball. Schumacher will score. That ball scoots away. De Jesus is on his way to third with a triple.
Like when he was playing near the right field line, John Jay, and looked like he tried to slide and catch it all at the same time. It's kind of beyond our sight line, so we don't see it. We'll see it here first time. It's right off his glove, and he's sliding because of you don't want to run into that wall, and did not catch it, and then he had to track it down. So Schumacher scores a second run. Jesus over third with his RBI triple.
And with one out, there's a runner at third base. Adam Duvall started a couple of games in this series, coming off the bench tonight.
Told the story about Duvall last year. Here's his first major league home run. He hit it off of Mike Leake, the Reds. Then he got traded for Mike Leake. Goes to Louisville, and he's from that area. His first plate appearance, he hits a home run. Eventually gets called to St. Louis, or excuse me, up to Cincinnati. In his first plate appearance at Cincinnati, he hit a 2-run home run off of Justin Grimm of the Cubs. He had 30 home runs at the minor league level this year, all at AAA. His first career 3-hit game last night, but not tonight.
Matt Carpenter's our Budweiser player of the game. 2 for 3, couple of home runs. Both were 2-run shots, 4 RBIs. So Carpenter on the year. 26 home runs, 81 driven in. He's our Budweiser player of the game. The Cardinals 1 out away from a sweep. Oh, 1 pitch. The fly ball lifted out to left, and this should do it. Magic number is down to 7. Cardinals win it. Convincing fashion, 10-2. 96 wins for the Cardinals and counting here in 2015.
What I like about this game here is we saw the familiar, outstanding starting pitching, good relief work, and then we saw the offense. 4 home runs, 13 hits on the night, 10 runs scored. That's the Cardinals that we need to see in postseason, and we'll be happy with their result.
It's on to the postgame show. A sweep of Cincinnati. Magic number stands at 7.